All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Africa Clash Grand Final. It is day 2 of the finals. We had day 1 yesterday, and what a blast it was. Action, all the way through to the last game. ASTRA Creative showing exactly what they're made of. We had Dark Zone step up to the plate as well. As you can see on the leaderboard, Tribe Warriors also putting in a masterclass of a performance. 4Kill Esports in the conversation as well. 4 Storm, Fallen Ruthless. All of these teams have shown exactly what they are capable of, but we are looking out to see more of the same. Pain Africa, ESPADA, SG Warriors, all vying for a chance to get a piece of that prize money. But right now, the MVP's race, Conan Boy leads the charge. 14 eliminations to the good, 12 for Balal for Astra Creatives, and then Rusciano for Fallen Ruthless, Amar for Dark Zone, and the guys from Force Storm also have Fanta in the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, match number 1 and more to come as we look through, but then we will stay and try to lock in. And then we will try to pack up a little bit more action, but it is going to be our first game, or our 5th game of the finals, but our first game of the night. It is Rondo action, and that is where we love to see what the deal is going to be like and who is going to come out on top. Flame path from the south towards that northern side, so that northeastern side, still haven't, really wrapped my head around the really have wrapped my head around the like Rondo thing still. I still haven't like figured it out, still like what's the word? Fingers crossed on it, I mean, take a look at our play zone all the way towards the western side. How do we feel about that, though? What kind of rotation would you make, especially if you're like Mazor, or SG or Dark Zone? Like, look at where these teams are deep into the southeastern side. Jadena City in those areas. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult for them to make those rotations. But we are going to see if that will, turn out to be something special for them. There can be so many different ways this goes about, but we'll see for ourselves what the game state is going to bring as we advance. Good spray from Venom there, just to give a little bit of a warning, but doesn't really change too much. Have 1 elimination so far. Pain have a lot of ground to cover. That leaderboard currently sitting in 7th place. Could do so much better, could do so much more as well. Still yet to find your footing the way they would have liked. Had a tough couple of games. Still managed to put some eliminations on the board, but not enough to change the trajectory of their performance nonetheless. Dose, on the other hand, it looks like they will be feeling the pressure right now. Onto the other side, I think coming through from MVP, they've been trading off a little bit more than they would have liked, but it looks like all the teams want a piece of the action here, and veterans as well, trying to get a piece of this. That's a fantastic grenade getting launched, but I'm not sure he knows it's that corner. He's not aware, and he has the bullets dropped on him immediately. Veterans still have Yano making quick work of it. I believe he will be heading to a recall center to activate his teammates. Would be a way this pans out. Oh, that's a nice spray. Adrian trying to make quick work of this. 6ix9ine with a grenade in hand, might start to launch it as well. Launches it quite nicely. Doesn't get the angle quite right. But Adrian's grenade will stick the landing, and he gets knocked away as well. MVP on the front line, but he's exposed, and Darkness immediately capitalizes on that miscommunication and flushes Adrian back into the lobby. MVP still have an opportunity to recall and reset. Mazor, on the other hand, dealing with the guys from Dark Zone. It's a little bit earlier than they would have liked, but it doesn't change the structure, not even in the slides. It doesn't change much of the structure, but they will try time and time again to make sure that they have the resources to see it all the way through. So, interestingly enough, that grenade did work from Potion. Adrian is currently in the air. There, a little bit of a pack and stop. We're going to try this into get into the corner there. He has the angle. Ooh, does manage to get a couple shots in as well, but not this time. Immediately gets sandwiched between two players from SG, and they capitalize on the numbers advantage. That will be their third elimination. Looking very, very good as well. Looking very solid with the way they have decided to approach this Rondo game. It is a very, very solid shout. It's a good start from SG. Very good start. As phase one of the circle starts to shut down. Starting to give a couple of teams reprise. It is going to be into the zone versus into the zone. And it is Stella that manages to drop a couple of bodies there for the girls. 3 eliminations to the good. Still staying in that mid-block position though, but a couple of eliminations will change how they are going to be perceived in this particular game. Ooh. Pressure is on. A little bit of a thought process here. Yeah, a bit of a little bit of a thought process still, but you know. There is a lot of transgressions from what we've seen so far, but it looks like Pain might start to feel the pain there. That's a beautiful phase-off angle there. Godly from MAZOR switches immediately to the S12K. He's trying to make quick work of this one. Error might be getting picked up, but it's a 1v1 scenario here. He wants to play it a little bit safer. Might go for the flush jump shot, but he jumps right into the shotgun shells. There was going to be a sandwich from the back end as well. But again, Pain will lose out, but the recalls are still very much active. Again, I think a lot of teams play with the strategy knowing, right? They know that there's a recall, so they're gonna be fine. I think they just, I think Rondo just gives you that little extra piece of freedom, to just reset, rethink, and reposition. Like, okay, we can take the damage, we can take the hits, as long as there's someone that is not engaged in this conversation, in this engagement. But again, if you are playing like that, there's always going to be a chance that you will be outnumbered in that exchange because you're prioritizing that extra body, closer to the recall and farther from the action. So it's something to look out for. But MAZOR, on the other hand, 4 eliminations, not a bad way to start the game, seeing as they are currently sitting in 13th place, could be doing so much better. But we're going to see if they will keep the pressure on or if they will crumble under it. Solid positions, very, very solid position that we've seen. And it looks like MVP again continuously pressing forward. Adrian trying to get a nice angle over to the right hand side. And it looks like it is into the zone. They're sending forward, taking the first hit. UMP in hand immediately from Flip. Jump shot over to the right hand side again, but immediately there is danger and there is chaos. It's the S12K, so he has to be careful. Manages to get the drop on, but the numbers not favorable as well. Beautiful sprays from Adrian, making quick work of the guys from into the zone. As 8 number falls down as well. Number 1 also pressing forward. He's low on HP though, Adrian. Trying to get his HP levels back up. Is the intel on? The intel is on! And that will be the end of the road for MVP. Again, I'm pretty sure most players know that this game has sound effects, right? When you when you reload your weapon, when you heal, there's sound effects. While he was healing there, I'm pretty sure the player that was knocked right beside him, right, knew that he was healing up and informed his teammates because he didn't move until the syringe or the med kit came out, right? He didn't move until the med kit came out. He didn't move until his teammate told him, "Oh, this guy's healing up right now. Press press him." And I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. If you look at his movement, I'm pretty sure that's what happened there. And you always have to make sure, you always got to make sure that it's either you finish your elimination, just go for the flush, or you do whatever sound effect you're going to do away from where you know that the opponents can still hear you. Tribe Warriors, on the other hand, getting absolutely demolished here. Hader is going to be the victim. Ooh, not what I was expecting to see, but it is very, very proactive. ESPADA trying their best to hold on here. Fortunately for them, they do have compound to work with. Veterans doesn't look like they can press this too far away. Not enough resources as well, but I think ESPADA should be fine. Had a pretty decent run so far in the final. As the play zone shifts even further again. Let's take a look at where it goes. Ooh, moves towards the southeastern side. Again, Astra. Astra, 4 players up and having a very decent spot in the zone of the northern side. You can tell that this is a team that has understood the mechanics of every single detail of how it is they like to approach games. I mean, take a look at that. You would think it's, magic, the way they are always trying to have all of their numbers up and have players in the right place at the right time and still manage to have the play zone. It's always going to be very impressive when you see it. But then they do have the guys from Pain over to that northern side, so it might change a couple of things, though. There's a chance that a couple of changes will be made here. So I think there's going to be a couple of changes that will be made so that they can solidify the win. Because right now, the team that's chasing them, right, Tribe Warriors, already are at a disadvantage. They've lost a player. I'm not sure the recalls are still active at phase 3. I'm not sure. And the next zone is already going to close out in 20 seconds. So again, it's all about the way everyone is going to play into this phase of the circle. Everyone has a plan of how they want to attack the zone. It's all about attacking the zone. Oh, pressure is on again. Ooh, Cristiano had no idea that was coming his way, but he did. Death Dose managing to get into a safe spot just by the skin of their teeth. That vehicle. Ooh, well, I spoke too soon. Let's go. Tally gets knocked away. M249 pressure from William just in time to repel the danger. I think that's, is that Mazor? Well, play zone's closing out again. Closing out to phase 4. And we'll get out of dodge. Only just. William will have to think about how they will advance from this position should the zone move away. Because their vehicle is really, really damaged. Well, Zyrex is trying his best to deal with the onslaught coming his way. I believe that is Dark Zone. Amar has been knocked away here. Zyrex is playing on all 4 fronts. He's spun around, but he runs into the Molotov. And that is a job well done by Dark Zone. 6 eliminations and all of their players up. It's a very, very good way to start the game, but they have to move quickly. Play zone is not favorable for them right now. seeing the particular position that they have found themselves in, they are probably gonna have to think twice about how they play into this shift. Shakim caught out by Agnol. Espada add another one to the tally. They are also up to 6 eliminations. That's a very good shout. Very good spray as well. We're down to 14 teams, 49 players. And this final is getting tighter and much more difficult to breathe in for some of these teams. But no pressure on the top half as they are sticking to their strategy. It looks like Into the Zone and Pain, they have just run into each other. Pain did manage to get that reset on, so they are back as 4. But that might just be temporary. Tribe Warriors, on the other hand, will not be so lucky. They will play as 3. Curious, looking for a way inside. Tribe Warriors have been displaced into 3rd place while all this has been going on by Dark Zone, so they will have to do a little bit more. That's a beautiful spray by Federal. Mazor might have something in the works here. Godly still not off the way there, but they will be pressed forward and they will be getting stopped. Fantastic spray from Federal. Again, immediately goes for the prone action. That's a beautiful shot as well. And the veterans could be in a little bit of trouble there, but again, the numbers, always going to be the numbers game. Veteran capitalize on that one. That will be the end of the road for Mazor. Oh, good spray from Kyrios, but not enough to change anything. He did try his best to lock it all the way down. And that will be the end of the road for them as well. Into the zone. It will be going out. I believe Top C will manage to do enough there just to keep his team in the game. And they will be playing as 2 going forward. Currently, ASTRA 4 kill, SG and BERSERK, the only 4 teams with 4 players alive. And this could prove very, very, very useful towards the final stages of this map. Conan Boy, current MVP, is already on 5 eliminations for 4 Storm. And they do have an inch of the zone to work with. 4 kill is playing just behind them as well. They have been sighted. It's all about the rotations for 4 kill. They're a little bit too close to the edge of the circle there. They will have to make an advance very soon as well. And Medsos is also outside. Amar takes a hit from Top C. It is Tribe Warriors going head-to-head against Dark Zone. They do not have the numbers for the exchange, but Astra getting a piece of the action as well. It looks like Pew set his eyes on that one. Amar was stopped and stunned. The elimination might be snatched away there. Tribe add another one. And it's been a very, very tangent battle between those 2 teams, Tribe Warriors and Dark Zone, as they swap between 2nd and 3rd place with each exchange. Zedu with a spray and a half as well, trying to get one into the shots there, but can't seem to connect. They pull up into SG. Fantastic spray from Zedu with the AUG, shuts it down, but SG already on the advance. They move a little bit closer, and this is where it gets very tricky. The play zone not favorable for BERSERK right now. They will need to make that advance. The smoke's already coming in way and making inroads for Zedu there. Goblin already making a little bit of a quick rotation towards the right-hand side, hops into his vehicle, and now they will try to communicate and collaborate to get into that final third. We're down to 8 teams now. Tribe Warriors got dispatched, so did Dark Zone. And Astra have the opportunity to extend the lead even further. Espada joins the mix. They go back into the lobby as well. We're down to 6. 18 players alive. Another beautiful shot from Medsos as well. 4 kill, looking very good. Franco did get knocked away in that exchange, but Fargas is still very much in the mix here. They're down to... They did have a knock, but I believe they will be able to deal with that one. Astra losing out earlier on. try to move on a little bit more because MedStars again peeking out just behind. Gets caught out as well. Probably going to try to make something happen there, but it's going to cost him a little bit of utilities. Again, Uchini with a big spray. And another grenade launched into the open space there. He spotted, immediately gets knocked away by MedStars, but MedStars straight off as well. Bilal had the oil angle, drops him as well. Bilal caught out by Fargas. 4 kill, will kill. And Astra will be stopped dead in their tracks. No major points accumulated here. This could be a major upset. 4 kill could snatch this one away. They are the only other team that has a dog in this fight. They've got 12 eliminations, potential for a whole lot more. Vargas with an even and open opportunity as well to advance. Zeru for Berserk. Advancing again. Gotali falls to the zone, loses out. Here comes Zeru again. Spray, water spray. William falls. Goblins caught. He's dropped as well. 4 kill. It is all about them now. It is all about Fargas already making a rotation towards that left-hand side. He has them penned in, but they did lose one in that exchange. It's a 3 versus 4. Berserk have the numbers, but now 4 kill are trying to even it out. A trade-off is good. Zedu's been knocked away. He's exposed, and he will be getting flushed. Now the scales are balanced. It is 3 versus 3. Fargas trying to drop through there, but no intel. They're not aware of where Berserk is. They are playing a little bit slower, a little bit behind. And 4 kill trying to capitalize and hold the zone accountable here. A little bit of a back and forth between these two sides, but they do have a better angle. They do have a better holding position, but the play zone not too favorable for them as well. And now they have a sight line to make this work. If they can get into the zone, it could be their game. It could be that chicken dinner that is so denied to them. 4 kill, another team that has secured another chicken dinner in this final, but they have a long way to go to catch up to Astra. Neptos has been spotted. He has been caught. A little bit of a spray over the top. Wraith gives away his position. Berserk trying to advance a little bit further. He's running out of smokes. More smokes into the scene there, and he might be spotted out. The smoke goes out in flames, but immediately finds a dip just in time. And this dip could be a game changer. They try to split out into the open there. They go to the other side. It's all about the right calls, all around the right position. Fargas just managing to escape the danger. But now the play zone is not favorable. Berserk get into a better spot. They made the right call. They get into the zone instead. 13 eliminations, potential for 16. Grenade. First one from the right-hand side by Goblin again. Wraith applying the pressure, improving his position. 4 kill here, in trouble. Goblin goes prone, but exposed by Fargas, had no idea, and now the numbers will sway from one side to the other like a pendulum, and the pressure now is on Berserk. 4 kill utilizing that open space, but now Fargas sends his teammate Salz out into the open, but he is met with bullets, and now it is a 1 versus 2. Goblin still knocked away, tries to go for the flush, another grenade sent over to the right hand side. Molotov burning at the backside, and there's no way for him to get his teammates up. He tries to play a little bit closer and a little bit further inside the 2 versus 3. Fargas 2 for 2, 2 for 1 special with the M4, cracks the shield and cracks the skull there. Open space, another one plays over to the right hand side. The play zone might hurt him. A lot of couple more shots again, switches immediately to the S12K, and he will clutch. 4 kill, will kill. They will kill again, and that chicken dinner, Fargas is the man to make it happen. 17 eliminations and a chicken dinner to top it all off. My goodness. Woo! What a finish. 4 kill. Fargas turning up the heat into the final third. And take a look at that. 17 eliminations. in one fell swoop because they knew that this game, especially this rondo, was where it was going. It was where they had to hit it hard, and hit it hard. They absolutely did. What a finish! What a banger of a performance from 4Kill. And now the race is absolutely on. What a finish that was. 106 total limbs. I mean, major limbs, major heals. 13, 400. 117 knocks. Interestingly enough, more knocks than eliminations. That should tell you something. You know, couple grenade eliminations in there, a couple assists, but no vehicle limbs. Not surprised. Vehicles are not necessarily first choice weapons in Rondo. Starting to see a pattern in that as well. But, you know, it's one of those things that's, you know, we try to turn around and we see every single, you know, trade-off. But 17 eliminations for 4Kill as opposed to, you know, that into the plays that we've seen so far. I mean, 4Kill was 17. It's so chaotic, but Fargas again, MVP, absolutely tearing it up. 1100, you know, like 12, call it 1200 in damage. I mean, 1200 in damage. I mean, that is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure he should be leading the line for MVP right now, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Conan Boy still has like an edge over him, though, based on the fact that Conan Boy still had an amazing game, you know, yesterday's matches. But we'll see if that's going to be the case for you know, today's games as well. But yeah, Conan Boy was still in the mix. 1200, even doing more damage than Fargas. Franco was also in the conversation. Zane as well. Goblin trying to trade off. Also had 4 eliminations. Goblin and Zane putting in work for Berserk. It's been a major performance from them. Arguably their best game as well. But let's take a look at the leaderboard for match number 5. 27 points for 4Kill, 20 for Team Berserk. And Veterans with 13, 4Storm with 12, ESPADA with 8, In the Zone with 7, SG with 7, and In the Zone Girls with 7 as well. Dark Zone with 6, Mazor with 6, and Death Dose Kenya with 6. MVP and Tribe Warriors for a piece. Pain with 3, Pain with 3, Astra with 3, Savage Unit with 3, and Fallen Ruthless with 2. And now Conan, the Barbarian, 20 eliminations to the good Fargas, chasing behind with a big shot there. 15 eliminations. Bilal also there with 12, but he's getting left behind though. 10 for Potion and 9 for Panic. Amar has been shifted out again. We'll see if that continues to be a pattern for this game. But let's take a look at the overall rankings post match number 5. Let's take a look at that. 62 points for Astra. Is not looking that far anymore. 4Kill have leapt and bound themselves into the top 2 as well. Tribe slip into 4th. Dark Zone maintain in the top 3 position. 4Storm, Veterans as well, and ESPADA Esports still trying to get a taste of that 1,000 USD prize money, but we're going to see if that will be the case for them. But ladies and gentlemen, we're down to last 3 games. We just had Rondo. Aaron Gale is going to be up next, so do not touch that dial, ladies and gentlemen. We're locked in, and say no more. We'll see you right after the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is going to be a party once again, something that we have become accustomed to. And again, it's been so chaotic. We saw how how that last game ended, right? And now the pressure is back on Astra. Now, this is very interesting. It's a 4 point difference. It's 1,000 USD on the line. You can't make any mistakes. You cannot afford to make any mistakes. You just cannot afford it at this stage. And again, it's so chaotic. Now we are in Erangel. You can't play Erangel the way you play Rondo, though. And Astra are much better in this map. So we're going to see 4 kill is going to be a little bit of an up and down swing for them. Seeing their landing spots and their rotations is going to be very difficult because I think they are going to be in Yasnaya with Mazor, and Mazor are better at defending Yasnaya than any other team, seeing that is their position. But we're going to see if that's going to be the case here, or if 4 kill are going to start this game very strongly by getting 4 eliminations out of Mazor. That's what we're going to keep our eyes on in that area. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. But the game is the game. The game is absolutely the game. I mean, take a look. Okay, 4K. Well, they didn't really commit all their bodies to Yasnaya yet, though. But still a little bit of a fail switch there. Ooh, okay. This is a little bit interesting. So 4 Storm is not in the game. Ooh, that's a dangerous shift there. I'm not sure what happened to them, but they missed the game. Unfortunate scenes here for them. I mean, that prize money is now getting a little bit trickier for them. But Astra have lost a player. And remember, this is not Rondo. There is no recos. The moment you get knocked and flushed, it's GG's. You go back into the lobby and you ask questions. This is not one of those days, so you gotta stay locked in through and through. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on the screen and stay locked in because Astra have lost a player. Dark Zone also starting really strong. They've eliminated one of the players from Astra as well. It's very, very, very interesting that this starts this way. Now, because for the rest of the game, Dark Zone will play with the mindset that Astra is down a man. And this gives them also an opportunity to reduce the gap between themselves, 4Kill and Astra as well. So we'll see if that is going to be what their strategy is. But right now, Tribe Warriors is a team that started the day in second place. They're currently sitting in fourth. Not the best way to kick off the day, not even in the slightest, but we will see if they will remain consistent. But right now, it's more of an Equinox thing. We'll see how ESPADA will manage to see this through. T24 has been, and Agnol have been very, very good for ESPADA, though. They've been the standout players on the team, and hopefully they will be able to at least find a way into the top 5. It's not a crazy shout. It's just 10 points away, and 4Storm have given them an opportunity by missing this game, so they can even close that gate, if not surpass, the guys from 4Storm. But take a look at that. The loot van has been blown up by Pain. Pain in Pachinki. Yeah, that's pretty standard. That's pretty much what they do. And that's pretty much how they do it. Looks like one of the players from In the Zone. Well, in the zone girls, the girls from In the Zone getting caught out there. Well, managed to go for the flush. A7R. Stella will have to retreat, but not surrender just yet. We'll have to. Pain, one elimination. I mean, Pain always, they usually start games good, right? They get early eliminations, you know, they get their hands into the game relatively very early, but somehow along the lines it slips away from them. That is the pressure, you know, of what a final can do to a team. You know, that is something that we've seen time and time again. Teams getting caught out early. It's the pressure. It's that is just exactly how it happens to them. But we'll see if they will be able to beat the pressure or crumble under the pressure as well. Falling Ruthless, again, one of those teams that has usually knows how to start games, but it looks like Astra have found them. And Rusciano knows exactly what he has to do, and that is get out of dodge. And get out of dodge very, very quickly as well. Venom will have to reposition, get a better spot in the zone. Also looking for a little place to call home as phase 1 of the circle closes out. They will try to leverage on their positions. Right now, Astra, they've lost Slay Z, and they've lost him relatively very, very early. But still, they're still a very, very consistent team. Playing as 3, they're still very dangerous. They're still very capable, you know. But this game is going to be a real big decider on where this championship will sway. Death Dose have not been able to find their footing since the beginning of this final. 16 points from 5 games. It's not the start you would have liked, not even in the slightest. But it is where they have found themselves. We'll probably try to leverage their position going into the final third. But Savage Unit, another team, still yet to find their way around. Currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard, but there's still a chance for them to climb a little bit higher as the matches progress. Dark Zone finally deciding to make their way into the zone. Amar, Tony, Klaus, and Panic, all with the right ideas, and it's all about the execution to follow suit. And I think Tony is opting to get some gas, while the rest of his teammates will try to get a better spot into the zone. Right now, the girls from in the zone are chilling in school, taking their studies a little bit more serious to see if they can get into that top 10, get a little bit more money. But it looks like Veterans Esports will be setting their sights now onto the guys from ESPADA. And that is what you call a crash cycle. Yoni goes down, back into the lobby. ESPADA down to 2. T24 takes a little bit of damage there. Agnol to the rescue. He pulls up, and I'm pretty sure he's going to pick his teammate up and get out of dodge just before the rest of those players pull up on his position. That was going to be very, very close. Ooh, Glixie with a big, quick turn. Astra in trouble again. Pressure is on them once more. Pew Pew, the next one to go down, sacrificed to the gods of Yasanaya. Once again, Death Dose being the ones this time around. And now this has put a spanner in the works of Astra's plans. They've started to make haphazard rotations, getting caught out. The entire game plan has drastically changed. This could be very, very difficult. Ruccini goes down as well to Stella, the Bison. And now Astra in trouble, down to just one. It is Balal, the last one left. He will be uprooted by T24. And Astra crash and burn away again. And the crowd goes wild. 4-kill. Dark Zone Tribe Warriors with an opportunity to close that gap. My goodness. Things just went sideways for Astra right now. Fortunately for them, though, the gap that they have given third place and fourth is still significant enough for them to play like this. But it's not going to be significant enough for them to play like this for the next, or rather for the last 2 games. They have to step it up. Astra, what is going on? I mean, starting the day comfortably. Couple points there. 6-9 to the corner. Takes the shot again. Ooh, nice shot from 6-9. And SG capitalize on that one. Pain, feeling the pain again. That's a fantastic grenade launch to perfection. And like I said, this is something I said about Pain, right? They always do this. They're always starting quite nicely. Oh, water spray right through the smoke. Darkness will see through the darkness. He will see through the smoke. And he will get the job done. SG capitalize. And they will send Pain back into the lobby. We are down to 14 teams, 52 bodies inside of this zone. It is phase 2 of the circle, advancing and shrinking as the minutes go by. We've lost, I believe, 2 teams so far. Astra, Pain, just a couple of seconds ago. That puts things into a very, very interesting perspective for teams like Berserk. And in the zone and MVP, opportunity for them to climb a little bit higher. Death Dose in trouble here. I believe they've been descended upon by the guys from Dark Zone. Well, it doesn't look like they want to press this any further because MVP is in the vicinity. They might decide to go down range. William has been spotted though. His vehicle will be the thing that takes a little bit more of the damage. And it might be split along the sides, but it looks like it is going to be Tribe Warriors instead who pull up into the scene and get caught out one after the other. And it might be them taking hits on hits. Amar setting his sights on, and I believe there's a P90 in that conversation somewhere. So Tribe Warriors have to be very smart with this. Can they hold on? Here comes Amar now. This is a perfect opportunity for Dark Zone to close that gap. And eliminating the team that's currently behind them is going to be a game changer. Top sees a victim. He gets caught by Amar's grenade. And that is the opening that Dark Zone have been looking for. Kuzo with a grenade of his own. He launches one over the top, but unfortunately doesn't connect. Kyrios has to play behind him. And another smoke and another grenade. The shield the vision. But the pressure is on now. Dark Zone, they pull up into the scene. Klaus crashes inside. Spins the block. Gets the intel. And here comes the sandwich. They're forcing them into a little box. Into a little corner. That's a fantastic grenade, but I talked about the P90. It's a game changer. It's a heart stopper. It's a showstopper as well. And now another team wants a piece of the action. Third party central. They're burning it up. Klaus on the other side. He gets caught out by Haider, and he will be getting burned away as well. Molotov cocktail into the side scene, and another grenade burns him outside. But Tribe Warriors will be eliminated at the hands of Dark Zone. And what a way for them to capitalize. The gap reduces even further. And Dark Zone will hang on just a little bit longer. And on the other bottom right of your screen, it looks like it is Death Dose trying their absolute best. Was that Savage unit? It is Death Dose. Andre trying to make quick work of that position. Falling Ruthless on the other side, also making quick work on it. Glixie's trying to circle back. Grenade in hand here. Might launch one right through the keyhole. from Willian, perfectly launched again, falling ruthless, thinking long and hard. Can they take the 4v4? Again, this is another angle where they have lost points in the past, trying to hold a 4v4 position, but they are in a little bit of a switch there. One cos plays off the off angle into that western corner. This could be a game changer for falling ruthless if they can get the plans right. Sema in a ground duel position here, trying to make quick work of this. Rosciano circles back, gets a little bit of a tighter position, trying to peek Sema into an open space. One cuz is waiting for the opening. If he can get the knock in, this will change everything. The smokes and the utilities all coming through for falling ruthless, and they are creasing and reducing the distance between themselves and Death Dose, but there's no chance. Absolutely no chance for them to press this anymore. The terrain is not going to allow them to play the way they would have liked. Utilities flying through. That's a fantastic grenade. The damage does connect again, but it's too far out. It's not enough for Sema. And Falling Ruthless doesn't look like they want to engage in this any further. They know that they're burning utilities. If they're not going to take the eliminations, if they're not going to make this happen, then it would be wiser for them to reposition and get into a better spot into that zone. Or they might decide to reposition and box Death Dose in. That is another play they can make. And I think that is the play they may have chosen. Dark Zone, on the other hand, after that onslaught onto the guys from Tribe Warriors, they find themselves sitting smack dab in the center of the circle. Doesn't look like they will have to make a rotation into the next phase of the circle, which is a smarter play, and they are out into the open. A chicken dinner right now from Dark Zone will change everything if they can make it happen. They are playing as 3, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult than they would have liked. And Death Dose pouring the bullets out. Falling Ruthless, like I said, in the 4v4s, they struggle, and you see exactly why. One cause out into the open, too far away from his teammates, can't provide any semblance of cover. Shakid is also too far away. Teammates knocked away out in the open. They can't do anything. You know, they will lose out, and that will be the end of the road. They will have to advance this too. Fortunately for them, no, unfortunately for them, actually, they do not have the play zone. That is another problem they have to deal with, and it looks like Death Dose could be in a little bit of trouble here. MAZOR have pulled up to the scene, and they are the ones that are trying to capitalize on this position that we've seen so far. It could be theirs for the taking. Glixie is trying to make quick work of this position. He's trying to turn this around. And I'm not going to be surprised if he does manage to do it. T24 switches the lanes there, S12K in hand. He's loving the S12K and he's utilizing it perfectly. Ring around the Rosie with Stella from in the zone. Trying to charge into the game, trying to charge into the grenade again, but not this time. T24's green S12K is superior as Stella goes back into the lobby. The girls from into the zone will go back into the zone. Or rather back out of the zone into the lobby. But you get what I mean, right? T24 onto the scenes, trying to circle back and circumvent. Ooh, well, Godly had to be very careful there, as there could have been a lot of pressure on him if he managed to get discovered in that exchange. MAZOR, Aatrox did get knocked away, but I believe he will be getting picked up. They are in a 2-2 split and will allow for the pickup to come through. He has gotten picked up. And they have a nice spot in the zone, though, just north of Yasnaya. Probably going to have to deal with a lot of teams making similar rotations. Speaking of one, it is going to be Falling Ruthless, just crashing and burning into the zone, not giving a root about anyone, but one cause will take damage, and he falls to the guys from Dark Zone in that exchange. Death Dose thinking long and hard about how they want to capitalize on that angle that they've got, but it doesn't look like much. Doesn't look like they will be able to see it through. We are down to phase 5. Fallen Ruthless will fall again, and they will go going back into the lobby. Adrian trying to set back and get a position for MVP. Have a player knocked away, though. They will have to think twice about the next passage of play. Play zone has shifted away. Death Dose need to find a way in. They need to find a way in fast. Got 60 seconds before the play zone closes on them as well. But I believe they should be able to find a way through. Well, here come BERSERK. Savage Unit is in the mix as well. Doesn't look like they want to engage. Zedu almost getting caught out as well. Might be getting dropped away there. T24 will be the last one eliminated for ESPADA, and that will be the end of the road for them. Amar setting sights now on Team BERSERK. Dark zone. That position that they've got in the zone, they are utilizing it to its fullest advantage. Firegas, the MVP from match number 1, has been caught between two teams there. He does get knocked away, but I believe he should be getting picked up, seeing the angle that he has found himself in. Death Dose somehow have managed to find a way into the zone over to the other side. 4-kill in trouble this time around. That's a fantastic grenade from MAZOR, and it's Aatrox that gets it happen. Wraith feels the wrath there. Grenade is dropped over him. Goblin into the open season there. He does have, I believe, the M4 and the S12K trying to make quick magic happen there, but that will not be the case. And that will be the end of the road for him. Zane hops into the drink and gets out of dodge. Play zone is hot on the heels. They're already making the advance. MAZOR will have to reposition and get into the zone. Toot sweet. And now Savage Unit also making their own advance. BERSERK down to just 1. As he tries to make it into the zone, he's taking damage there. But here comes Panic. Gets a drop on him. I mean, you can see what Dark Zone are doing, right? Grenade! Woo! But they do make it happen. Dark Zone eliminated. Well, they did not close the gap as much as they would have liked, but 4 kill, this could be their opportunity to go on top. Aatrox somehow. MAZOR have found their way into the play zone, but they've got a couple of seconds before they have to move. Savage Unit, I believe, is the only team that has majority of the zone covered. 4 kill need to also find their way in. Fargus has found himself into a little bit of a shack, but he's not in the zone as well. It's all about the zone now. It's all about the rotations. MAZOR also trying to get away through. Clips with a spray for MVP. He locks in, gets a couple shots off. But again, it is all about the zone. They haven't made the rotation just yet. It is all about the zone. What does the zone say? What is the destination? What is the decision for MVP now? Will they prioritize that zone play instead? Or will they try to deal with the opposition that's trying to block their sight lines there? And that is the danger of second guessing. 4 kill, utilizing that one. They're up to 6 eliminations now. Potential to turn it around. 4 kill have currently snatched first place away from ASTRA. And now all they have to do is get a chicken dinner to even extend the gap further. Sightlines into the open there. MAZOR now making their own rotation. Smokes and beams into the open spaces. Open field territory as Death Dose will be sent back into the lobby as well. MVP now making their final rotation. From 4 players, they have been dropped down to just 2. MAZOR, on the other hand, still have 4, but they have a player knocked away. And here comes Push, and he wants to take the 1v1, or rather the 1v4, swaps into the vehicle, takes inside, and that is Potion, drinking the magic potion, but no magic tonight, as he will be dropped immediately by Crasher as he crashes out of the lobby. That was dangerously close. You can see the move he pulled there, hopped into the vehicle, swapped to the S12K, he got the second knock, but immediately Crasher was onto him like stew on rice and sends him back into the lobby. 4 kill on the other hand, down to 2. Now there's only 1 left. Savage Unit, blessed by the gods and blessed by the zone. They haven't necessarily needed to lift a finger here, but MAZOR, the advantage they have is the numbers, but they're about to feel that one, as sometimes play zone will trump numbers, and Montana is about to make them feel that. Zyrex has made a little bit of an inkling rotation. Play zone is right in front of him. Franco with an off angle to the left-hand side there could prove very, very stubborn. as Maury continues to apply the pressure. The rest of the team from Savage Unit looking very, very comfortable. You can see the way they are split on three sides. Maury playing in behind with one to the left and one to the right. They're waiting for Mazor to just peek out of the smoke, and that will be the, the signal to rain the bullets down. But if Mazor can utilize the smokes and the utilities, they might be able to turn something around here. Franco has been spotted, but I think he wants to tank the blue zone instead rather than give the points away. Federal getting caught out by the MK14, but Amari again getting spotted out. He made the mistake of capitalizing and going for it, and he's going to get knocked away. It's going to be a hard nut to crack there, but inside the zone, Zerak, the next one to go down, a trade-off. Montana out into the open, but he blows them away. And that is the danger of having the vehicle so close. Montana just blows them all away and blows into the chicken dinner. Savage Unit 2 Savage. And that is a chicken dinner with 7 eliminations. Well deserved as well. Woo. What a finish. What a finish. Put it on the line when the stakes high. Seven eliminations. Montana putting in that work. I mean, we saw towards the end of the shift there, he blew them all away. I mean, you can tell Mazor. I think this is like the second game I've seen Mazor putting the work, you know, putting some numbers. But again, the chicken dinner eludes them. That was very, very close for them. The chicken dinner would have been it would have gotten a lot more traction if Mazor had gotten it instead, because you know that puts them into a certain light, puts them into a certain conversation, you know. But we'll see. We'll see how this pans out over the last 2 games. But right now, Savage Unit snatches a chicken dinner, 1,000 damage points, but Mazor put in way more work. And Mazor had Demonic also putting in that work, and the MVP almost doing 1,000 damage points there to show you that, yes, he's really that guy. He's absolutely really that guy. And the overall, the Monarch is leading charge with that 5 elimination counter. Fargas yet again for 4 kill, putting in the work. 5 eliminations for him as well. And ESPADA did have Vidims also in the conversation. 4 eliminations for him, 3 for Panic, and 4 from Montana from Savage Unit. Champion for the game as well. Let's take a look at the match standings for match number 6 of the African Clash final. And 17 points for Savage Unit, 15 for Mazor, 14 for 4 kill. In Dark Zone with 10, MVP with 8, to Death Dose with 6, Espada with 5, SG with 4, Pain, Veterans, and In the Zone Girls with 2, In the Zone with 1, Tribe with 1, Team Berserk with 1 as well. Astra, Creatives, Fallen Ruthless, 4 Storm. No points on the board for these 3 teams. Now they will need to lock in Miramar. But let's take a look at the overall standings for the top players, as Fargas is now in front. He has overtaken Conan Boy for 4 Storm, and this guy has been putting in a masterclass of a performance. Potion is also in the mix there for MVP, Panic for Dark Zone, and Astra still has Balal putting in a shift. 2 games to go, but let's take a look at the overall leaderboard now to get a feel of what it really looks like. 71 points for 4 kill, 9 points clear of Astra, Dark Zone with 54, and Tribe Warriors with 45. 4 Storm with 42 as well, and Espada with 37. 35 for Mazor, 34 for Veterans, and 33 for Savage Unit. Tied at the hip with SU Warriors as well in 10th place. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we talked about. This is absolutely what we talked about. The pressure is absolutely on right now on both 4 kill and Astra, because this is for the first time since we started. For the first time in the past couple of games, 4 kill is in first place. So now it is up to them to win the rest of the games and win that money. But ladies and gentlemen, it is easier to say than to do. 2 games down, 2 more to go. So stay locked in. We'll be right back with Miramar for match number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is the PUBG Mobile Africa Clash brought to you by PUBG Mobile Mauritania. Putting this together, big shout out to them for bringing you PUBG Mobile action from the top teams of the region. And we have just witnessed something very cinematic over the past couple of games. Two games down. This is number three, and it is going to be Miramar, the first Miramar of the day, the second Miramar of the final. And I think it was Astra that won Miramar yesterday. Can they do more of the same today? Well, this is going to be a very pivotal defining moment. Again, Astra playing relatively too slow, and I think teams have picked up on that, so they're starting to hurt them. So this is going to be a very defining moment for Astra if they can see this through. But right now, 4Kill is in the driver's seat. They cannot afford any slip ups. They are sitting pretty in that top draw position, but we will see if they can maintain it over the course of this Miramar game. Nice playing path we've got on our hands here. Very nice. Very demure. From the southwestern side over to, I believe, a little bit of the eastern seaboard there. We've got Minas Devai in the conversation. We've got Cumacera. We've got Pecado. We've got Graveyard. We've got Los Leones. La Bendita, Minas Generales. We've got the Junkyard. We've got Cruz Devai as well. We've got Tierra Bronca. We've got El Azahar in the rotation. Then we've got a little bit of Impala in there as well. And the action has kicked off already. And it looks like it's Dark Zone, if I'm not mistaken, getting very active against, I believe. Wait, okay, against the guys from Force Storm, I think. And that is not the way Force Storm would have liked to start this game. Seeing as they missed game number two, they missed match number two, didn't get into the lobby, and now they're in match number three and they're taking hits. But Conan Boy has something to say about that one. He lobs a grenade over back towards the guys from Dark Zone. I think it was Klaus that was the recipient of that Christmas present. But Conan Boy immediately getting knocked away by Amar. Yeah, it's GG's. If Conan Boy gets knocked away, man, nothing for Force Strength again, man. Nothing for them, man. Yeah, Force Storm, rather. Yeah, nothing for these guys if Conan Boy is getting knocked away. And they already have a player. They've already had a player flushed by Dark Zone, so yeah, nothing for them, man. Do not see them making any rounds from this, though. But it looks like veterans on the assault here. I think they managed to steal one away from the guys from SG Warriors. So they want to make quick work and wrap this up, nip it in the bud, and get the job done. Yoni setting his sights onto the guys from Tribe Warriors. Tribe Warriors also had a fantastic Miramar yesterday. They had a very fantastic Miramar yesterday. So can they do more of the same today? Well, we're going to see. Zuko has launched a grenade, and T24 had no idea that the Uzi was clapping close by, and it does clap him. Tribe Warriors will capitalize on this. I know them. They will not allow this reset to come. They will not allow it to happen. A little bit of a spray into the corner there, but that will be a wrap. Tribe Warriors snatch it away. 4 eliminations immediately, and not losing a single player. Like I said, they had a very fantastic Miramar yesterday, and I think they plan to go on. They plan to do exactly what they did yesterday, keep the same energy, get the same points. If there's a chance they might be able to do more. Klaus getting stripped there. Force Strength actually managed to get Colon Boy back up. Shakim takes a hit there from Tony. I would love to see this action. And it's in Pecado, actually. Shakim goes back into the lobby, courtesy of Tony. Again, Dark Zone putting Force Storm to the sword. Tony now going to be a victim. Conan Boy making quick work of him as well. A trade off. This is what it teams like Astra and 4Kill would want. Dark Zone dropping bodies early, knowing that the odds of them now winning the chicken dinner have significantly reduced by, a huge percentage, seeing as they started fighting relatively very early. Conan Boy, I mean, I was thinking this was like a close quarters thing, but it looks like this is just what it is. And it is what it is. Ooh, that's a fantastic grenade. Mori takes a hit, manages to escape the danger. Death dose. I think they are in Valdemar, I think. Yeah, I think they're in Valdemar. Does this place even have enough loot for two teams? I mean, I'm seeing Glixie with a level 1 helmet and a level 1 vest. That should tell you what kind of area this is. The fact that there's two teams here tells you a lot. It tells you a whole lot. The fact that there's two teams here tells you a whole lot, man. Yo, surely. Oh, he couldn't get the shots off, and he's giving away his position now. They know he's there. This is where that grenade would have actually come in handy. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, that's never gonna work. Well, his position has been compromised. They know he's there now. Oh, he's so lucky that those sprays did not land. He is so lucky. But again, because of this area, he's only got one painkiller. No meds, no bandages, no med kits, just vibes and a whole lot of inshallah here, man. And that is the problem when you come to areas like this with another team. You're going to share the loot, which is nothing. You imagine sharing nothing, right? Scenes where you share nothing. Conan Boy again putting Amar to the sword. Dark Zone losing out. Conan Boy, the nightmare of Dark Zone. He puts them back into the lobby again. And now Mafioso, the victim of circumstances, is all going to be Conan Boy's party now. He will be the last one left. He's basically chasing that MVP. I think he's chasing MVP at this stage. I think he just wants to win MVP. He knows that the chances of them winning the tournament are very slim, but the chances of him being MVP are not. So I think he's trying to stay on track there, and I gotta respect it. I mean, MVP walks away with I think 100 USD, so that's big money right there. He might be able to do something with that one. So fair play to him. Again, Pain. Early engagement, losing out. It's MVP, grenades, utilities flying all over the place. Probably going to get knocked away if he doesn't move there. Adrian to the corner. Adrian gets caught out. Again, Pain looking good as usual. This is the strategy. They get the early eliminations. They get the job. They start really nicely, but somehow, somewhere along the line, they lose concentration and they lose their player. They lose, the they lose the context, and then their players start falling away. And that is something they really need to work on. But right now, taking a look at that zone is very central, very open. Teams that do love to play central, they're gonna get a kick out of this one. They're Potion on the rooftop. Can they capitalize? I'm not sure they know that Mafioso is there. Okay, they know he's there now. He's wrinkled out a couple of shots. Potion still on the roof, not giving it a once over. What a spin from Mafioso. Beautiful spin. Spins around the block. S12K straight to the chest there. Conan Boy put out of his misery by Astra. And Astra have started to secure their first elimination. And now that's one over to the book there. Mafioso getting the job done. That will be the end of MVP. Finally, Mafioso and Boni making quick work of MVP, putting 4 points on the board for themselves. Finally, Pain doing the business, doing exactly what I know they're capable of doing. I mean, it's a tad bit too late though, but let's see how far up the leaderboard they can actually climb. I think this race is between Astra and 4Kill now. I don't think Dark Zone can do anything, seeing as they've gotten eliminated from this game already. So I think this tournament is now between 4Kill and Astra. So Astra, the best thing Astra can do right now is to eliminate 4Kill. Like this is just really what it is. Because the longer 4Kill is alive, the more placement points they get, the more points they get. You have to eliminate them so they don't get any points. That's literally taking your that's literally like taking your destiny right into your hands. Like nothing says I'm taking my destiny into my hands like yeah and we're going to eliminate the team that it's going to directly affect the leaderboard in our favor. I mean, yeah, you can eliminate other teams, but then so can 4Kill, right? If you're Astra, and vice versa. You can eliminate Astra and know that the job is done. I mean, 4Kill can win this tournament right now. All they have to do is eliminate Astra right now. They eliminate Astra. I mean, DZ can do something nasty in the last game, but I don't think, I mean, doing something nasty would be in the realm of getting like 20 eliminations or something, and hoping that 4Kill doesn't get anything. But we know how those scripts play out. It hardly ever happens like that. But right now, it's really in the pocket of 4Kill. If they want to take the game by the scruff of the neck, it goes without saying. Eliminate Astra. Just eliminate Astra and know that you've done it. Know that you've won the tournament. Eliminate them and win the tournament. It's really that simple. Again, smash point, smash rule. I thought I would see more of that. But I think it's still very difficult to integrate that. I think only official PUBG Mobile tournaments can integrate that so far. I've not really seen smash rules since PMGC and any other like third party tournament. So that's something to keep an eye out for. PMNC kicks off next week, Monday, ladies and gentlemen. So stay locked in. Make sure you're following PUBG Mobile Africa. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe on this channel as well. PUBG Mobile Mauritania bringing you the action live. The Africa Clash. The Grand Finals, Day 2. Miramar, match number 7 before the last match of the night. And what a party this has been. What a performance from 4Kill, Astra, Dark Zone, Tribe Warriors. I mean, again, Tribe Warriors, though, low key. They've gotten a couple of eliminations here, though. They've started really nicely. And it looks like Mazor could be in a little bit of bother here. Crasher has been crashed upon. The Tribe Warriors Tribe Warriors have started this thing that they know how to do in Miramar. Oh, they love them some Miramar. Tribe Warriors, they love them some Miramar, and I love a team that is very consistent across a particular map. You know what to expect from them. Tribe Warriors being the only Nigerian team in this lobby as well. There's a lot of pressure on them to perform, and they are doing well enough. Staying inside of the top 5. I think they will finish top 5, seeing as the rest of the other teams here. But here comes a Venom now setting his sights onto the guys from Mazor. Crasher has been picked up. Grenade over to the other side, and Crasher switches off Federal into the other side again. Venom will reposition. Bonnie goes down, courtesy of 10 in the zone. Want a piece of the action as well. They're trading off blow after blow. Bonnie's going to be knocked away and flushed down the toilet. And Pain will lose their first player in this game after securing 5 eliminations. I mean, best game they've had today, if you ask me, though. Best game they've had so far today, man. There's still a potential for it to be better. But Astra and 4K still 4 players up. And I think Astra has a couple of eliminations in there. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, Astra has 1 elimination. 4Kill yet to secure any. But that has never stopped them before. That has never stopped them. Not even in the slightest. These guys know exactly how to play, when to play, what to play. But they will need. I think 4Kill, they are going for a chicken dinner win here. I think that's what they're going for. I think that's what they're going for here. Chicken dinner win would be a statement win for them. Astra also making their own rotation. Ruccini all into the pyro blocks by himself as he's caught between a rock and a very hard place. Zuko with the pressure on him. I think Zuko is still aware that he's there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is supposed to do. I'm not sure why he wants to do, trade off with someone in a high ground position. Rishano goes down, knocked away by Wimi there. The girls putting that work in, but Stella is going to get blown away there by falling Ruthless. Not the way they wanted this game to go, though, but it is what it is. Venom, on the other hand, there. Zuko is going to be circling back. I mean, Tribe Warriors are in a very good spot. They're in a very nice spot. High ground position. They don't necessarily have to make a quick a dash, crazy rotation. They just need to maintain a little bit of proximity to the opposition and have all of their intel. Doku, they're trying to deal with the guys from Tribe Warriors just across the hillside there. But you can see Tribe Warriors, they don't necessarily have to leave the spot they're in. And they are gathering enough intel on the rest of the opposition around this vicinity. It's a very good position that they've got for themselves there. But the play zone is closing in a moment. And now things are about to get very interesting. After this close of the zone, it is going to get very diabolical very, very quickly because we are down to 13 teams and 45 players. 4Q have been spotted by SG. And let's not forget, Tribe Warriors are also in this vicinity. It would do Tribe Warriors a whole world of good if they do eliminate 4Q, because then that takes the game into sudden death. That takes the game into match number 8. That is where it will be decided. But 4Q have to be eliminated now if that is going to be the case. And SG Warriors, can they take it upon themselves? I mean, you can see them making the rotation across, but doesn't look like he has the confidence in his 4X to spray at that distance without getting harmed in the process. Because you have to be very certain, you have to be very sure of your sprays, in high tier tournaments like this, because if you miss, they will harm you. You will be harmed, seriously harmed. The moment you miss and they get your angle, oh my days, it's going to be a nasty piece of business for you. Again, Astra playing very slow. This is a team that wants to win a chicken dinner. Astra and 4Kill, this is a chicken dinner game for them. Like, this is what they want to do. They're not trying to go crazy. They just want the 10 points, and then whatever amount of eliminations is going to be left to grab. But these two teams are playing like they want to win the game. They're not playing like they're trying to farm or anything like that. Venom driving a little bit too close for comfort there, almost getting dropped off. Oh, what a spray from Venom. And it peeks into the corner again, but he will be getting dropped off immediately as well. S12K straight to the chest there. Zedu's trying to spin back, but immediately getting pressed by Mafioso. He spins into the corner as well. Grenade is in hand, but he will be getting dropped off. His own grenade hurts him. He gets knocked off. And Goblin will be getting picked up. Opportunity as well to pick up Venom, though, for Mafioso, or he might decide to go for the 1v2. But he will be going for the pickup because he has 2 teammates knocked away, which is a smarter call. But is this the right call? It's the smarter call, but is it the right call in the moment? Because now there's third-party centrals, and it is going to be, I believe, the girls from In The Zone pulling up into the scene. Swaps through. Oh, Mafioso! Close quarters excellence, but not enough to change anything. The girls will put him to the sword and get the job done just in time. Berserk, on the other hand, trying to make it happen. Wraith has been knocked away. The girls from In The Zone want to capitalize on this. B7R. Goblin's grenade. He spots it. Launches one. Ooh, that grenade was inch perfect, almost causing chaos there. 4 eliminations for the girls right now, and it's 1 more left, and I believe it is going to be. Ooh, bounces that one off the corner. Almost getting the job done there. Sabrine into the corner as well. Doesn't look like they want to commit, but he's literally 1 HP. I believe they will be getting the job done there. And that will be the end of the road for Goblin. And Berserk will be sent back into the lobby. We're down to 10 teams now, 35 players. SG with a sight line and a half. Ooh, 4Kill. This is a very diabolical position for them to be in because they've got Tribe Warriors just up ahead, and they've got SG over to their eastern corner. But they do have the play zone for the time being. But will they be able to see it all the way through, though? It's going to take a lot from them because they haven't secured any elimination. They are playing it very slow. They want to win the chicken dinner, and it looks like it is going to be In The Zone versus In The Zone. And who is really in the zone? We're about to find out. Molotovs, number 10, and more as well. Sabrine goes down immediately, getting burned at the stake. And it's all left to number 10, and that is a job well done by In The Zone, showing the other In The Zone who's really in the zone right here. 6 eliminations to the good, and that is how you make a statement. But now the play zone has shifted again. Tribe Warriors now putting 4Kill on the back foot. Medsos gets knocked away. Astra are going to be keeping their eyes on this. Grenade over the top. Franco goes down. Hader is the one that makes it happen. Medsos getting knocked away. They know it's them now. Fargas immediately trades off with the AUG. Franco getting immediately flushed. They know that they have to make the right calls here. 2 players from Tribe Warriors have been knocked away. Molotov over the top by Hader. Kairos needs to get picked up into a little bit of a corner pocket there. S12K in a switchblade position. Jump shots. Hader! Oh, from outside the window. Hader! What a drop. Shotgun shells from the heavens. You would think it's raining bullets. But Tribe Warriors capitalize immediately. And that will be the end of 4-kill. And Tribe Warriors will take it upon themselves to make the job easier for themselves. And now an opportunity, but here they come. DBS from Zuko. Tribe Warriors on rampage. Again, we know how good they are. He tried to go for the flush. Immediately he's hurt. And now opportunity for them to circle back. Zuko goes down. Courtesy of MAZOR. 8 eliminations. Maher gets caught out as well. Trade-off is good. Grenade. Bounce off the walls. Top C. Kyrios plays from outside. Top C. Looking for a weak link. Looking for a chink in the armor. But he's going to be dropped away as well. Kyrios circling back. It's all left to him and Hader now. They have to capitalize and make this a 2 versus 1. And he's almost getting dropped off. Woo! Kyrios, he goes down to the blue zone. And that will be the end of the road for him. But 10 eliminations for Tribe Warriors. Unfortunate scenes. And take a look at that. Hader pulls 17 out of the vehicle. Pulls the second. But number 1 is there. Tells by moonlight 11 eliminations. You would think it's a story, the way they're dealing the damage. And now Astra. Could be astronomical if they get this chicken dinner. But Tribe Warriors have put a dent in the plans here of DZ and 4-kill as well. This could be the final third, the final push. Astra, like I said, it's just a chicken dinner. That is all they care about. They're not here for the eliminations. You can tell from the way they've been playing. You can tell from the strategy they have employed. All they have to do is see this through. They know that 4-kill have been eliminated. They know that the ops have been silenced. But all they have to do now is claim that chicken dinner. The play zone just out of reach, but they can advance their position. They're trying to make sure that Death Dose cannot play behind them and force them into an uncompromising position. Vehicles at stake here. They will be blown away the moment they make that rotation. Following Ruthless on the top side of the hill and also trying to make a play for it. Slazy launches a big grenade over the top side, manages to get launched as well to seal the deal. Glixie gets knocked away, no space, but no more way for poor people as Bilal gets knocked away there. Astra in trouble here. If the guys from Death Dose decide to capitalize on this, but William making a play for it immediately gets harmed in the process and stopped dead in his tracks as Death Dose will be dealt a death dose on the hands of Astra. And things might be looking very astronomical here. Grenades, smokes, angles. Zeba up the hillside. He spots them. Ruccini peeks out, takes damage. Might be getting dropped off. Fortunately for them, they have a little bit of zone to work with. 3-1 split though for Zeba. He could be the one that changes things, but the play zone is not favorable. He will have to spin the block and get into a better space. But here comes Bilal. He steps in. Zeba in danger. He's spraying through and he manages to reconvene with his teammates. Now we're down to 2. It is Fallen Ruthless against Astra in a 4v4. Astra need this chicken dinner. They need to make everything right. They've slipped up 2 times already. They cannot afford a 3rd slip. This is not forgiving gestures. And now the chicken dinner lies between them and Fallen Ruthless. Fallen Ruthless could be the team that causes chaos on them. Rosciano's grenade. Clinical as it knocks Slazy off his stride. And another grenade over to the right-hand side. Pew, pew. Knocked away. Trouble right now. 2 bodies. Dropped away. Another grenade. Fallen Ruthless. Will they bite? Will they bite? Will they press forward? Another grenade. It's bombs away. It's so much bombs away here. And here comes Bilal. He wants a piece of the action as well. Immediately swaps through. DBS from Bilal. He's trying to hold on. There's 2 players out into the open. Another grenade. So much chaos and so much damage. Astra will not take the chicken dinner. Fallen Ruthless will beat them to the punch and take the game into sudden death. 11 eliminations for Fallen Ruthless, their best performance in the final, showing exactly why they got it in them like that. They got it in them for sure. I think they're a Kenyan team, right? I think Fallen Ruthless is a Kenyan team, if I'm not mistaken. But what a solid performance from them. 11 eliminations. Well done. Zeba being the off angle man. I mean, Astra played a little bit too slow. They did not get into the zone on time. They allowed Falling Ruthless to capitalize. They should have used Zeba as an anchor and pressed from his position, but unfortunately they didn't. Probably didn't have enough vehicles for that kind of play, but they want to go for the chicken dinner. They really hoped that the play zone would be on their side, but unfortunately that was not the case. 6-3 total limbs, 83 plus in heals. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. Vehicle elimination, finally we got one. 9 grenade limbs as well. Couple of assists there, but it is what it is. 11 eliminations though for Falling Ruthless, showing their class. Almost 2,000 in damage points. We would call it 1,800. Couple of heals as well, but take a look at the heals from in the zone. My goodness, 1,000. Yeah, these guys were getting into it. I mean, we saw the engagements they got into relatively earlier on, so that stems from how that worked out. But Fallen Ruthless 10 knocks as opposed to 5 from again, Astra could have played it so much better, but it is what it is. Coops for Zuko. MVP for match number 7. Well deserved for him as well. 5 eliminations, 700 plus in damage points. Couple of heals there, 3 assists. Is that 3 assists or 3 knocks though? I think it's 3 knocks. Yeah, I think that's 3 knocks. And then we have a couple of other MVPs again. One again from Tribe Warriors. I think that's Hader. Yeah, that should be Hader. 4 eliminations. Yeah, I think that should be Hader. Finally, Mafioso from Pain is in the running as well. Rusciano from Fallen Ruthless and Not Zoro also in the mix for Savage Unit. Savage Unit have had their best spell of games today. Yesterday, they were just getting fried. Fallen Ruthless 21 points to the good in zone with 13. Tribe Warriors with 12. Astra with 10. Interestingly enough, could have been so much better. But I think that puts Astra back in first place, I think it does. But Pain with 8, Veterans with 6, Savage Unit with 5, also in the zone girls with 5, Deathtos, Savage, SG Warriors 4, Storm 4 apiece, Dark Zone with 2, Team Berserk with 1, Espada, Mazor, MVP, and 4 kill. No points on the board for them. But now we see the MVP rankings, right? And I think Conan Boy still leads the charge. Yes, he does, with 3 eliminations and a couple more damage points. Fargas is chasing him down. Remember, MVP walks away with 100 USD. So these two guys, this is basically what they're playing for now. Fargas's team still has the opportunity to win the tournament and for him to also be MVP. That is a 2-for-1 special. He's not going to let this slide. Hader now in the conversation, 14 eliminations. Rusciano also in the conversation with 11. Balal is the only player here that hasn't. Balal and Fargas are the only 2 players that haven't changed much. With Conan Boy as well, haven't really changed much. But Hader has added himself into the mix. We've seen a lot of changes. 72 points for Astra, back in first place. 71 for 4 kill. 1 point between both teams. Like I said, sudden death. It goes into the last game. Tribe Warriors with 57. Unless Tribe Warriors can pull a hat out of a rabbit, I don't think they can win this tournament anymore. If they had managed to get a chicken dinner in this game, they would have had a different conversation, but that was not the case. Dark Zone as well, I think they're out of it, but now is a matter of bragging rights now and how much money you can take away for yourself at this stage. So how much money can Tribe Warriors take away from this? How much money can Dark Zone take away from this? Same thing with Foreign Ruthless. That chicken dinner puts them into the top 5. 4 Storms slipping away into top 6. Veterans in the zone, Savage Unit, interestingly enough, this team was, I think, in last place at the start of today. Savage Unit, I believe, were in last place, if I'm not mistaken. And take a look at them now, in 9th place. That should tell you never give up. But ladies and gentlemen, 3 games down, 1 more to go. We head back into Erangel for match number 4, and who will claim the championship for the Clash finals. Stay tuned, don't touch that down. Ladies and gentlemen, the die is cast and it is time. Turn up the volume. Put on your hats. It is the PUBG Mobile Africa Clash final brought to you by PUBG Mobile Mauritania, bringing you action like this from the top teams in the region. A taste of a taste before PMNC kicks off to give you guys what something to look out for. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are expecting to see. It is Astra versus 4Kill in this game. Nothing you're gonna tell me. Then we have I think Tribe Warriors and DZ fighting for that third place and who is going to take that money for third place. Because that's really what this last game is going to be about at this stage right now. I mean, also shout out to Savage Unit because those guys really turned up today, man. They really turned up today. They really did a that thing today. So let's see. Let us see what is going to be on the menu. Who is eating tonight? Who is feasting in this final match? Match number 8 of the Clash Finals. We're about to witness something special here to see who is going to turn up the heat. 72 points for Astra. Astra, I mean, if like the thing about this, right, is the interesting thing about this final is that if I was, during my prime days when I was still playing, what I would do, it would be I would land on 4Kill. That's what I would do for sure. I would land on 4Kill and I would eliminate them. And I will know that I've won the tournament. You know, that's what I would do. But ideally, though, right, I wouldn't do it because of how close the points were. I wouldn't do it just because of how close the points were. If it was like a maybe 10-point gap or maybe 9-point gap or something, I would definitely do it because I know for sure I would reduce their capacity of winning with probably eliminating one or two players if I don't eliminate all, because the risk there is high, but the reward is even higher because if I eliminate 4Kill, I win the tournament for sure. Unless Tribe Warriors really do some nasty in this game. I mean, if Tribe Warriors do something nasty, that would be crazy. That would be crazy, but again, I think Tribe Warriors just love Miramar and they've done their Miramar of the day, and that's just GG's for them. MVP with a sideline on death dose here. I'm not sure they know that Sema's there. Ooh. Well, he knows he's there, but nothing for him this time. He gets dropped away immediately. MVP losing clips very, very early. Death dose with a plan of their own. Glixie has been spotted here. Gunner pulling up. Grenade for grenade. And unfortunately, Gunner's grenade is going to be the one that connects. Wait, no. Okay, no, yeah, Gunner's wait. Okay, yeah. Gunner's grenade is the one that doesn't connect. He gets knocked away instead. And I think it's Glixie's grenade that connects and drops them out. Ooh. Well, nice shot from Glixie as well, but Potion probably has something to do about that one. Adrian managed to steal one away. Clips, after Clips got knocked out. Grenade is good. Grenade could be better. If Potion can land this perfectly. Charge that one a little bit too much. Charged it to the game a little bit too much there. Gonna circle back as well. Ooh, gonna get him knocked away. William, 1 HP. Is he gonna take the chase on? Doesn't look like he will. Potion gets knocked away. Will be getting flushed courtesy of William. And now Gunner is all left to him here. It's all left to him and Adrian. William goes down. He was low on HP. Prioritizing on that one. And here comes Sema in a 1v2. Two shotguns. He does have a Uzi though. The Uzi can clap here. And he does get the first one dropped off. AKM stands no chance. And he will be getting dropped off. That will be the end of the road. Death Dose. Is this a taste of what is to come for PMNC? Hmm. 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 Is this a taste of what we could see? In the zone. Wow. Somehow they found themselves in 16th place. And their male counterparts in top 8. Interesting. But the distance in points between them is just like 8 though. Like 10. It's not bizarre. That's what makes it so interesting. This has been a very competitive competition. I can't even lie. It has been very competitive. I've loved every minute of it. So that's a very good grenade. Charged perfectly too. Ooh, Yano gets a knock there on Nazoro. This could be a very interesting kind of event there. Hanging around a little bit too long there. Managed to get a drop through. He goes prone, swaps through again. Loses out. He's 1 HP though. Can he make it? Doesn't look like he can. Yano gets knocked away. Smart play from SG Warriors though. Jump shot over on the roof. You next. He absolutely next. He might be able to go for the clutch there, but again trying to stay locked into the scenes there. Beautiful shot from you next. Truly a veteran of the game. He should get his teammate picked up though. I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks like Dark Zone. They're hearing this, they're seeing this. And the girls from In the Zone have been sent back into the lobby. I believe courtesy of Conan Boy. And that MVP charge, the Ballon d'Or charge, is still very much on. Well, Tony's pulling up to the scene here. What does he plan to do here? What is he about to do? Ooh, he pulls up. He's 1 HP. Has to be very careful with that one. Another grenade. He gets dropped off with the DBS. What? Did he think he wouldn't be spotted? Well, that's going to be the end of the road for him as well, and that will be done and dusted. Dark Zone snatch it away. 4 eliminations to the good, and Tony does not get eliminated. Good play from Dark Zone. They pull up just in time to steal the point away. Puts them back into contention for top 3. I mean, again, Dark Zone still not far-fetched though. These guys can actually do something interesting. Dark Zone, I mean, yo, this might be something special. Conan Boy is on that Ballon d'Or charge. You can tell he's just farming. He just wants the Ballon d'Or, nothing else. He just wants the Ballon d'Or. He gets another elimination as well. Knocks for ESPADA, trying to pack it in. Can't seem to find a space to make that happen. Pressure is at its highest level right now. And we have lost 3. Is it 4? 4 teams. We're down to 13. And it's only just phase 2 of the circle. 4 Storm down to just 1 player. And that 1 player is Conan Boy on the Ballon d'Or charge. I think he may have done enough though, because he started with a lead and I think he has extended that lead by a couple more eliminations. So we'll see how far he can take this. But what an outstanding player he has been. What an outstanding performance he has delivered in this final. No, looks like Mazor up onto the camp here, trying to take Everest away from 4 kill. Might have succeeded. Or Everest have the 4K have decided to that's not worth the risk at this stage. Phase 2 of the circle closing out. Nox continues his assault onto the guys from ITZ. Amar set his sights on Rossini there. Rossini goes back into the lobby courtesy of Amar. And that could be something special. Astra in trouble. Bilal burns his teammate. Could be trouble here. Astra falling to the pressure. Grenade launched over the top. 3 bodies caught. It is Dark Zone that does it. Slazy wants a piece of the action. And this could be it. So 4v1. 4v1. Can't do it. Astra eliminated. At the hands of Dark Zone. Dark Zone now. With this, they are on a charge to win the game. Dark Zone want to win the tournament. I wrote them off completely because of I thought Astra could do it. I thought they could. But ladies and gentlemen, I have been proven wrong. 4 kill on the other claps here, yet to secure any points. Now, as it stands, Dark Zone are on 64 points. 64 points. My word, Astra crumble. I mean, in phase 2, I would think they would play it slow. But getting caught out like that, my word. Well, Dark Zone, that was the strategy though. They want to get the numbers up. If Dark Zone win this tournament, my goodness, it is going to be absolutely phenomenal because a chicken dinner with 10 eliminations is different right now. I wrote them off, and I was looking at Tribe Warriors being the team that was going to do something diabolical, but I may have been wrong here. I may have underestimated the power of Dark Zone. And the rest of the lobby might just feel this. Everything has changed. Someone wake me awake, because something just happened right now. Dark Zone are in that dark place, and they might just come outside with a chicken dinner here. This might be the biggest battle I have ever seen if 4 kills somehow do not win this tournament. I mean, Astra, my word. I mean, Astra finishing 3rd, starting the day in number 1 with, I believe, a 12-point lead, if I'm not mistaken. This could be something special. If Dark Zone do this has to be called a battle, right? It has to be. Well, BERSERK, on the other hand, have Zedo leading the charge. Funny enough, they've had their best spell of games today as well, as opposed to yesterday. Most of the teams that we've seen today, most of the teams that had horrendous day ones have been stepping up to the plate today. That is something very, very nocturnally interesting, though. But this is absolute cinema. Oh, Amar again steals one away again. 9 eliminations. Oh my goodness. If Dark Zone, they want to farm this out. They want to do it in the final third. They want to do it in the last game. My goodness, doing it in the last game. 9 eliminations here. MVP losing out. MAZOR, Crasher being the one to do it yet again, putting in that pressure. Wraith goes up onto the high ground, finding a good spot for BERSERK to seal inside again. Goblin taking a little bit too much time there, gets hurt in the process, but Savage Unit doesn't look like they will attempt to cross the seven seas to get to this position. But my word, this could be a change of pressured positions here. But let's not forget, though, that in order for Astra to actually lose, let's not forget that 4Kill still has to drop numbers though. Like they still gotta do numbers though. I mean the odds of them doing numbers at this point is basically just placement. They just need to get placement. They really just need to finish inside of the top 7, and they know that 80% of the job is done. But now 4Kill still have a job to do. They still need to eliminate DZ. They still need to eliminate Dark Zone and make sure that Dark Zone do not get any more points. But Dark Zone are not stopping. It is Mazor's turn to feel the heat now. And Tony's the one that switches up. Amar turns it around as well. Aatrox goes down. Another elimination. Another one. And another one. 11 numbers going up. Mazor, Savage Unit falling to the sword. Dark Zone have gone to that deep, dark place to pull this one out. My goodness. This is something I have never seen. Zyrex goes down to Tony. Tony gets the drop on him as well. Falcon peeks out. Amar stops him. Montana, my word. Dark Zone, 12 eliminations now. And that is a job well done. Savage Unit eliminated. 14 eliminations. Dark Zone. They've switched it up. Zone 4. Dark Zone have 72 points. They're tied with Astra as it stands. One more elimination and it's done. My goodness. Dark Zone. They have left Tribe Warriors in the dust. And now it is Berserk that they may have set their sights on here. The pressure mounting on and on and on. It gets more and more creative. And they are trying to hold this down here. But I think now Dark Zone know they have gotten a significant amount of eliminations. All they need to do now is weather the storm and get into the final third. 4Kill still a couple of points away from that placement. Still a couple of points away from the placement points here. They still need to ride it out. They still need to get through it. And 4Kill could be in trouble. It is Kyrios setting his sights in. Metsos goes down. Tribe Warriors now, the thorn in their side. Tony has to circle back with Amar there, but they are holding this entire region in a 2-2 split by the neck. And Berserk under siege, getting forced into that box. Can't seem to find a way out. But the play zone is not favorable. We are in phase 4. A couple of seconds until we move into phase 5 of the circle. And now this is where it's about to get really dicey. Dark Zone have done everything right in this game. They have gone all or nothing. Pain have now pulled up to the sea. And Mazor down to Crasher. Does he have a vehicle on site with him? Not sure he does. Probably has to. The Cloud sets its sights on Venom there. Venom is going to get knocked away. Again, this performance might even change the Ballon d'Or charge. But Conan is still very much alive, so I think that one might just be sealed. But let's keep an eye on that one, that conversation as well. Grenade over the top side from Amar, just to cause a little bit of chaos there. Agnol, Spots Mafioso, Espada also putting work in. Amar with a sideline position, spinning across the lanes there. Another grenade launched over the top. Nox with a sideline of his own as well. Goblin also applying more pressure. Espada looking very, very confident on their rotation. I mean, Dark Zone up to 15 eliminations now. Could it be 4Kill have lost the player though? I mean, 4Kill, I think the only way 4Kill now gets the job done is to win the game. And Crasher gets Franco knocked away, goes for the flush as well, loses out. And that is another player from 4Kill biting the dust. Zuko makes his way into the zone just by the skin of his teeth. Tribe Warriors under siege. Pain as well, also looking for a way inside. The smokes and the utilities. Grenade over the top there from Zuko. The pressure is on him. He doesn't stop. He launches another one over the top. That one connects, and that is the opening that Tribe Warriors have been looking for. They launch yet another one. That will be the end of the road. 3 eliminations now. Pain eliminated. Fargas finally putting the sword to Crasher. Mazor go out as well in 8th. And now the placement points start to rack up. The placement points start to rain right through. 4Kill have done what they need to do. They are currently sitting in first place. They are sitting in first place. The placements now have started to count up. A chance here that Astra finishes in 3rd place. The more DZ stay alive. Tribe Warrior making the advance. This has to be the Ramontada of the century. My word. But if Tribe Warriors win the game as well, it's still a conversation to be had. Because Astra can finish in 4th. It is so top heavy right now. Berserk also caught in a 2-2 split. Players to the left of them, players to the right of them, players ahead of them. It is all anyone's game now. Zuko, Tribe Warriors inside of the zone. Do not necessarily need to spin around too much. This is something different. Dark Zone, they have a little bit of the zone in the northern side. Tribe Warriors as well. 4Kill do not have the zone, and the team right in front of 4Kill is Dark Zone. Conan Boy finally eliminated there. His Ballon d'Or charge comes to an end. I don't know if he has done enough. I think he has, but he only got 2 eliminations, but I think that is enough. Fargas has only gotten 1, I think, so I don't think he's get a charge. Unless from these 15 eliminations, Dark Zone have done something absolutely diabolical here to snatch the Ballon d'Or as well. I mean, that would be something crazy to see in the final third. Cristiano now sets his sights onto the guys from Espada. I think it's Nox, gets knocked away as well. Saber onto the scene, into that position. That's a fantastic grenade, but he's exposed. Fargas steals that one away. Tony gets knocked away there. And another opportunity. That will be the end of the road. Goblin makes a quick work of that one. Espada go out. And Amar with a set goal there. Fargas getting knocked away. 4Kill cannot afford to lose here. 4Kill cannot afford to go down at this stage. They have to see this through. Fargas getting knocked away is not what they want, not what they saw on the bingo card, and Amar makes quick work of him as well. And now it's all left to 1. Chakid from falling ruthless off that high of a chicken in on the previous game. Another grenade. He has the P90. He has the P90. He launches that one over the top. Jump shot again. Gets the first drop immediately. Will be getting swept to the side as well. And now it is chaos. Chaos everywhere you look. Tribe Warriors, Dark Zone, Fallen Ruthless, Berserk, 4Kill have been eliminated. The chicken dinner now could be the decider between Tribe Warriors and Dark Zone. Dark Zone have way more eliminations, but they do not have the chicken dinner yet. Hayder and his team, if they can take the chicken dinner, the job could be done. But the play zone now could be a big deciding moment of how this job could be done. Here comes Dark Zone now. They need to deal with Tribe Warriors. They need to make sure that the job is done. Zuko has been knocked away by Amar, and another opportunity there. Hayder, first drop, immediately getting swept away, and here comes the job. Tribe Warriors eliminated by Dark Zone. 20, a 20 bomber in a final. Remontada, absolute cinema. Dark Zone, the darkness prevails. Dark Zone will put Zedu to the sword. Dark Zone will take the chicken dinner and be the champion. Surely, goodness and mercy will follow Dark Zone. 22 eliminations and a chicken dinner. 32 points, 84 points total. Dark Zone have won the clash in the final game of the finals. Absolute cinema. You will not see this anywhere else. Dark Zone. My goodness. Someone call the police, but not for me. Dark Zone chicken dinner, 22 bomb. What a performance. I mean, they have to, someone from here has to take the Ballon d'Or as well. Surely, with this performance, they snatch Ballon d'Or as well from Conan Boy for sure. For sure, they snatch it away. And I know Conan Boy who's going to be fuming with this performance. Ladies and gentlemen, your champions for the PMAC Clash. Dark Zone, 2 chicken dinners, 63 eliminations, 88 points. I think Astra even finished in 4th place. Oh no, I think Astra finished in 3rd place, but my goodness. My absolute goodness. What a game this has been. Dark Zone, your champions. Congratulations to Dark Zone. What a performance they have had. 25 eliminations total. Oh, Conan Boy is still MVP. Oh, he did it. Conan Boy is still MVP. I was rooting for him to be MVP because if someone from Dark Zone had snatched this, it would have hurt me a lot. But he managed to get the job done. Conan Boy from Force Storm, his performance has been absolutely incredible. He is MVP. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Force Storm. At least they walk away with a little bit of money. 25 eliminations. Fargas with 22. Amar with 21. Again, he was so close, but yet so far. Conan Boy doing just enough in this last game, because it was this last game that won it for Conan Boy. He picked up 2 more eliminations in this last game to bring his total to 25, because if he was still at 23, I think they would have given it to Amar. No. The damage was still significant. I think he would have still won it there, but woo. But take a look at that. 88 points to 77 for 4Kills, 72 for Astra. Imagine starting the day in top 1 only to drop and finish in 3rd place. Insane bottle job. This counts as bottling, right? This has to be bottling, right? This has to be bottling. But Tribe Warriors putting up a masterclass, still managing to stay inside of the top 4. Fallen Ruthless, best performance today, stay inside of the top 5 as well. Force Storm, Conan Boy lifting them to get them into top 6. ESPADA and In The Zone also into the top 8. Veterans also is there. Unfortunately, In The Zone girls bit off a little bit more than they could chew there, but they did have a fantastic showing. Death Dose, fortunately for Death Dose, they did not carry last. Congratulations to Death Dose for not carrying last, but Fallen Ruthless is Kenya's pride and joy. 4Kill with the first game chicken dinner, 27 points, and they did have Erangel go to Savage Unit, and then Fallen Ruthless taking Miramar, and then Dark Zone with 32 points in Erangel in the last game, and they snatch away the victory. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been that. Thank you for tuning in. Amazing performance from all of these teams. We'll call it a night. We'll see you at PMNC.